What's up, Pandas? Peter Von Panda here. I just wanted to, as I said in my last week video, that I had a pair of balls and I wanted to show them to you. And I wanted to show you the second half of that presentation by getting out my other ball here. I really think, balls are a great watch, and I really think that you should have a pair of balls. Now, the first thing I will tell you is that, unlike the other ball that I showed you before, my two balls are different sizes. So the original, which was a Master Diver, was a 42 millimeter case, and the first thing you'll notice right off the top here is that this one is a 43 millimeter case. And even though that doesn't seem like a big deal, just those minute differences in the diameter of the case actually make a pretty big difference in the way the watch looks and feels. And so this actually feels like a little bigger watch, even if you didn't know that it was. And the way the case is milled as well lets it feel a little bit wider, where the other one has that kind of that separated top, that separated bezel on the top, and kind of makes it look taller but more narrow. The interesting thing here on this ball is that this was part of or what I should call a special edition. It's called the Ball Fireman B&O First Mile limited edition watch. This was a commemorative watch that was produced for the opening of the Baltimore and Ohio Museum. And why it's significant to me is that if you know about the history of Ball here in America, it was really a watch designed for the railroad industry, and it was kind of like early air traffic control. There were a lot of dangerous situations with trains not being arriving or colliding or just plain interfering with each other because timekeeping wasn't very precise. And so the Ball really made its reputation of creating very, very exact watches that were railroad certified. And in fact, it'll be a little hard to see here, but the Ball logo, official railroad standard, is the RR right up there at the top in the logo, and then also on the counterweight portion of the second hand. And as you can see, it's a sweeping second hand movement. This is an automatic watch. I believe it is a ETA 2824-2 movement. Sapphire Crystal, another nice feature and kind of another trait of fairly high-end watches. It is one of two different types, two different color combinations that came. They all had this kind of black and blue leather perforated watch band, which is nice. Tapers from 21 millimeters up there to I think 20 here. But the faces, this is obviously a blue with white markers and numerals. On the other one was a white face with blue. So kind of an exact reverse here. But I really like this blue. Blue's my favorite color, and kind of even looks a little purple there, but it's definitely a watch that it really spoke to me. And again, down here on the bottom, it's got and it's maybe a little hard to see, try to get that out of the way, the dome logo of the B&O Railroad, which is also kind of a cool feature to have. So there, get it in there, and a screw down crown too, so that's nice to have. There, just focusing on it a little more. So a couple of the other cool features here that I will just quickly point out to you is that it is stainless steel, and the difference on the way the case was milled for this, I don't know if it was intentional. I'm assuming it is, but I'll tell you what I think it looks like. It looks like it's out of one piece, which is cool. But then if you notice the bevels on other balls are straight, flat, kind of a chamfered edge, and this one has it kind of comes in and up. So it's got this concave beveled edge all the way around. And the cool thing about that is, to me, it looks like, if you were to just straight look at it, it looks like one of the steam pressure gauges off the old locomotive. Or it also looks like, to me, one of the big wheels, because the iron railroad rail, the wheel would sit on it and it would kind of fit in that groove. So I'm not sure if it was meant to emulate either or, but it definitely looks like that. So it kind of carries a little bit more of that vintage railroad kind of theme and I like that. Again, sweeping second hand, but there's no subdials. This is not a very complicated movement. Obviously a date window here. One of the other nice little minor features that I like, you can see the kind of the blasted polished look here. First Mile watch, and I guess maybe the anti-magnetic, just like most of the balls. But the other thing that I actually like, and this is kind of a silly, stupid little thing, is this, the clasp on the end here looks kind of like a multi-piece piece of engineered artistic work that's kind of underappreciated and almost would never be seen. So it's got this cylinder here, ball engraved, and then it looks like it's kind of got actual threaded screws in there. The cool thing about this is that it just is a little different. It's actually fairly different for ball, as far as I know, because it's not on my other balls. I've checked both my balls, but it gives it a little bit more of that kind of steampunk look, a little more industrial look. And if you're familiar with BRM watches, which I believe are built out of England, they also have kind of this elaborate clasp on the end. So this is a cool little feature. You know, it's kind of a petty little thing, but I like when companies work very hard to put in detail, even where you're not going to see it and really appreciate it for the most part. Again, nice sturdy lugs, all milled out of the same piece here, and you know, just a quality watch. When this came out, I believe it was $1,090. Like I said, I don't know that it was a strictly a limited number produced at that time. I actually think it was they kind of produced them to meet whatever demand, but then they stopped. So it's a limited production because they aren't making them anymore. But I don't know that it was a strictly a set number of them that were made. So I would be interested to find that out, because usually when they are going to produce a fixed number, they will engrave or stamp that number, your number, and then the total number on the back of the watch. In this case, this doesn't have it, but just a very cool watch. I like the band. To me, this is a little bit outside of the other, different than the other ball watches. You know, this is pretty much an entry level watch for ball, you know, being about $1,000, but I think you get a lot of watch here, a really good looking watch, sporty, nice, and like I said, not everyone recognizes the name ball, so people that are kind of in the know with watches can see it and appreciate it. So this is my other ball. Like I said, you know, as I showed you my pair of balls over this week, just keep in mind one's bigger than the other, but I really like having a set of them because I think it's always important to have balls in a set. So hope that's helpful. Hopefully you like this watch as much as I do. Peter Von Panda out.